Welcome back to another over-analysis of Grand Theft Auto 6's second trailer. Here we have our third scene, Jason driving his car down the street. That's all we're going to talk about today. Yes, I know, we're milking it. We're taking our time. That's okay. So, let's just take a look here. Let's just enjoy it. Let's just appreciate what we're seeing here. Jason in his car. Now, we have already previously established that Jason is working for Brian Heder. Brian is a drug kingpin, essentially, who is also a landlord. You know, you gotta get those side hustles. And Jason is somewhat of his enforcer. He gets the money from people who are, you know, not looking to pay very much. So Jason is sort of the muscle behind the business. And here he has been just told by Brian to go get him his money. So here we see Jason on his way to work, essentially. There's a lot of little details in this. Again, it's just about a second. We're going to spend 10 minutes talking about 1 second, and that's the way it goes. But there's a lot of details. A lot of little things to look at. First of all, here we are right in the front of this we see another tattoo on Jason's arm. This is showing that clearly we're going to be able to, you know, the tattoo art that's going to come back over from GTA 5. So I'd imagine that this is just one of the tattoos that will be on Jason by the end. I also, you know, let's just look at him. This is a different looking guy from our first trailer. They've obviously improved, in my opinion, the designs of some of the characters, including Jason. You have to remember that video game development is an evolutionary process. So it is interesting how different he looks, and yet, you know, still similar vibes, that kind of thing. I think he looks much better, but also we're seeing much better beard technology and a lot better hair technology. So it's all sort of just becoming much more of a complete package. Speaking of his hair, look at it kind of tasseling out the back of his head there. You know, we talked about in the last video that the hair was poking through the front of his hat. So we're seeing a lot of different variations of different things you could do with his hair depending on how the systems work. Obviously in Red Dead Redemption 2 the hair grew, you could cut it, you could shave. We'll see how that works with Jason. Looking in his car here, we can see the reflections on the mirrors. We're seeing reflections on the rear view mirror, on the side mirror there. There's also reflections on his watch. This is ray tracing technology finally implemented in a way that actually looks kind of cool, in my opinion. We're not seeing, you know, neon lights. We're seeing natural light. We're seeing actual reflections as they appear to us. Also, look at the windshield here. We're seeing a reflection there. So we're seeing light interplay with the elements. It's really quite a beautiful thing. What we'll see here is just such an incredible realism. Look at the front window that's, you know, partially rolled down right in the front there. We're seeing reflections of clouds. We're seeing reflections of details. What's on the other side? We see the back window there. We see, you know, reflections and refractions on that. So it's just such a beautiful implementation of this technology. It's really quite impressive. There's reflections on his sunglasses. There's almost looks like there's reflections on his eyes if you zoom in close enough. There's reflections on the little light in the center of the ceiling. So we're seeing just so much, again, these little details, these little technological pinpoints that make you go, huh, look at that. That's really impressive. Beyond Jason, if we look past him, we see a man standing out there. Looks like he's doing a little bit of leaf blowing, a little bit of lawn care. We've seen in previous trailers people watering the lawn. We'll talk about the other trailers at some point, but not right now. We've seen people out of their houses, taking care of their houses. So that just sort of, again, goes into that this is a living world. We saw that in Red Dead Redemption 2. People sort of going about their business, people doing what they have to do, and then you just sort of come across them. That appears to continue on here. We're seeing people just sort of going about their own simulations, their own sort of world. So there we have a guy blowing some leaves there. We go down, we see this lovely lady wave out and say hi, Jason, in a beautifully looks like a customized pink car there, and she's also holding her little dog. So there's a lot of different things we can infer from that. Obviously, car customization. There was no doubt that there would be car customization, but it now appears that other characters are going to have car customization that are specific to them. Whenever you saw a character in GTA 5 with a specific or modded car, it was just kind of arbitrary. Just here's a character with a modded car. in this specific area. Maybe it's around the mod shop or whatever. But now it looks like each character, each NPC, each citizen of Vice City is going to have a specific car that sort of matches them. She's wearing a pink dress. She has a pink car that looks like it almost has paw prints on it or something. And she is in fact holding a tiny little yippy dog. So this is sort of this evolution of character that we're seeing. That's not just your own characters. Every single NPC, every person you interact with has, it seems to be something of a life. They have a car that they matches their personality, matches what they do, and matches who they are. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that kind of stuff goes into play. And of course, we'll love to see what that also means in terms of the gameplay of it, how easy it is to do certain things when you're playing the game. I also found it quite interesting how she shouts out to him, "Hi, Jason." So she knows him. She speaks his name. She says that, and Jason, of course, giggles. He laughs. That's very sweet. Maybe she has a bit of a crush on him. But this actually kind of goes back to something that a Reddit user said, I think it was in 2022, where he mentioned that NPCs remember you. They remember your crimes. So this particular person said that they had stolen somebody's bike like 2 days ago in in-game days, and then 2 days later he comes back and the guy says, "Hey, you stole my bike. I can't believe I'm going to call the cops on you. You jerk." So we're seeing this sort of interconnectivity that things are a lot more alive. Things are remembered. NPCs remember what you did. So if you do something good, I guess that helps you. If you do something bad, they'll remember that. But this is sort of, again, we're seeing these evolutionary steps from their previous games, from GTA 5, and then of course specifically Red Dead Redemption 2. In Red Dead 2, there are a lot of characters that are sort of designed to remember you, but there are also very specific instances where it feels very, very natural. In particular, the shopkeepers that we see in Red Dead 2. If you go to a shop and you haven't been back there in days or weeks in the game time, they'll say, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome back." Or if you do rob them or you shoot them or hurt them, then they'll say, "Oh, you're back. I can't believe, I'm letting you back in this store. No more roughhousing, no more, funny business." So it's just sort of, it's this really impressive continuation of that. And it does sort of, imply some consequences. So you might have to think about, I don't know if I want to commit a crime so close to like my safe house, because it might be that people, every time I come back, a safe house is something that you're going to come back to multiple times. Maybe I don't want to commit crimes so close to this because people are going to remember me every time I come back here, and maybe they'll call the cops, which will then expose my safe house. So there could be little elements like that, some gameplay systems that we're not necessarily appreciating. I also love the song, just to point that out. It's called Child Support by Zenglen, which is sort of a reggae Bob Marley kind of thing. The song choices in this trailer, as with all trailers, are really, really impressive. And we'll see in the next couple videos that we're talking about, is that this trailer is following Jason, I guess, through his day as he goes and collects money from people. And there's just different songs on the radio, which is just, I've always found that GTA radios have been hit or miss with me. I really enjoy GTA 4's radio. GTA 5, there were some channels that I liked, some channels that I didn't. I love GTA San Andreas. I think everybody loved GTA San Andreas' radio. But it just sounds like the songs that are coming in on GTA 6 are going to sound really, really great. They have some great needle drops. So I'm really looking forward to that kind of stuff. So this is such a great little scene. It really shows sort of this interconnected world. It shows that Jason has people who know him. It shows that maybe it's possible that NPCs will remember you, will get to know you. Maybe they'll become NPCs that you become friends with. Who's to say? And it also shows that the technology on this game is on point. It is really, really impressive to see some of this ray tracing. And again, we'll talk about this 1,000 times if we'll talk about it once. This was all captured on a standard PlayStation 5. That is just absolutely mind-blowing. The fact that they are able to squeeze this much technology and this much performance out of that technology that what a lot of people are saying is pretty much outdated by now. But more importantly, it's not a PS5 Pro. There was some concern that maybe the PS5 will be a little bit, or PS5, Xbox Series X will not be able to handle what this game is going to require, but it appears it's going to do a great job. So this is just further examples of that. Are we repeating ourselves? Of course we're repeating ourselves. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're here to do. That is another look at a little 1-second frame of the Grand Theft Auto 6 Trailer 2. Come back tomorrow. We'll have more information. We'll have more single frames of this trailer. We're gonna, as we've said before, we're gonna milk this for everything it's got, and we're gonna just take our time. We're gonna soak in this detail. I really enjoyed soaking in these details because it really, we overlook so many things. We just look at something, we take, oh, that looks pretty good. No, really take a look at it. Really enjoy it. Really soak it in. Really appreciate the work that went into making this. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna milk it. We're gonna take our time. We're going to go scene by scene. We're going to really, really appreciate what Rockstar is putting together here. In our next video, we're going to talk about Jason doing his day job, getting some money for Brian, working the stores. We're going to be spending some time with him on the job. A lot of details in the next scene, a lot of information. You're going to want to check that out right here on GTA 6 Source.